Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Have you ever felt that deep down exhaustion, but just told yourself, oh, it's just part of getting older? It's a common thought, but what if it's more than that? What if your body is sending out an SOS, a real cry for help, asking you to slow down, recharge, and truly heal? Today, we're going to talk about something crucial for our well-being, especially as we enter our golden years. We'll uncover 5 critical warning signs that your body is begging for deep, restorative rest. These are the subtle and sometimes not so subtle signals that many of us tend to ignore. But doctors and health experts warn that overlooking them can lead to more serious health issues down the line. As we gracefully age, our bodies change. They become a bit less forgiving than they were in our 20s or 30s. Recovery from a busy day or a strenuous activity takes a little longer. That feeling of fatigue might not just be simple tiredness. It could be a sign of something much deeper going on. It's so important to understand that rest isn't just about getting 8 hours of sleep. True rest is about giving your body and mind the dedicated space they need to repair, to reset, and to restore that delicate internal balance. When we consistently push past our limits and ignore our body's need for rest, we can unknowingly weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to colds and infections. It can cloud our memory, make concentration difficult, and even increase our risk of accidents like falls. So, let's listen to what our bodies are telling us. Let's dive into the first sign. Sign number 1. You're experiencing persistent brain fog and trouble concentrating. Do you ever walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there? Or maybe you find yourself struggling to follow a conversation or remember a simple appointment. This isn't just a senior moment when your body is overworked and desperate for rest. Your brain is one of the first places to show the strain. It is like trying to run complex software on a computer with low battery. Things just slow down and glitch. This mental fatigue happens because a lack of rest affects the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and short-term memory. When it's not getting the downtime it needs to clear out metabolic waste and repair neural connections, its performance drops. You might find yourself misplacing your keys more often, struggling to make simple decisions, or feeling mentally sluggish all day, even after your morning coffee. This isn't something to just accept. It's a clear signal that your brain is overloaded and needs a genuine break to recharge. Moving on to our second warning sign. You feeling irritable or emotionally sensitive for no apparent reason. Have you noticed yourself getting easily annoyed by little things that wouldn't normally bother you? Perhaps you feel a wave of sadness or anxiety that seems to come out of nowhere. Your emotional state is deeply connected to your physical state. When your body is running on empty, your emotional reserves are depleted too. It becomes much harder to regulate your feelings. This is because sleep and rest are vital for processing emotions and managing stress hormones like cortisol. Without enough rest, your body remains in a state of high alert, and your nervous system is on edge. This can make you feel snappy, impatient, or even tearful over minor issues. It's not that you've suddenly become a grumpy person, it's that your body lacks the resources to maintain emotional equilibrium. Think of it like a dam holding back water. When you're well rested, the dam is strong, but when you're exhausted, the dam weakens. And even a small amount of pressure can cause a crack. If you're feeling emotionally fragile, it's a big red flag that you need to prioritize rest for both your mind and body. The third sign your body is begging for rest is a noticeable increase in aches, pains, and general physical discomfort. Are you waking up with a stiff back that wasn't there before? Or maybe you have persistent headaches, muscle soreness, or joint pain that just won't go away, even with gentle stretching. While some aches are a normal part of aging, a sudden increase, or a constant, nagging pain is your body's way of screaming for a break. Rest, particularly deep sleep, is when your body does its most important repair work. During this time, it releases growth hormone, which helps repair tissues, build bone, and mend muscles. If you're not getting enough quality rest, your body misses this crucial repair window. Inflammation can build up in your system, leading to chronic pain and stiffness. It acts like a construction crew that never gets a chance to fix the daily wear and tear on a building. Eventually, the structure starts to weaken and break down. So, if you're feeling like your body is constantly hurting, don't just reach for a pain reliever. Consider it a direct message that your body needs to clock out and head to the repair shop for some serious downtime. Let's look at the fourth sign. Your immune system seems to be on vacation. Are you catching every cold that goes around? Do you find that small cuts and scrapes take much longer to heal than they used to? A weakened immune system is one of the most classic and dangerous signs of being overworked and underrested. Sleep and rest are the fuel for your immune cells. When you rest, your body produces and releases cytokines, which are proteins that target infection and inflammation, creating an effective immune response. When you skimp on rest, you're essentially starving your internal defense team. Your body produces fewer of these protective cells, leaving you vulnerable to viruses and bacteria. You might find yourself battling one lingering illness after another, feeling like you can never fully recover. This isn't a coincidence. It is a direct consequence of your body not having the energy or resources to fight off invaders effectively. Think of your immune system as your personal army. An army can't fight effectively without rest and supplies. So, if you're constantly feeling under the weather, it's a major sign that you need to retreat and let your body's defenses regroup. Finally, our fifth and very important warning sign is a reliance on stimulants and sugar to get through the day. Do you find yourself needing that second, third, or even fourth cup of coffee just to feel functional? Or are you constantly reaching for sugary snacks or drinks for a quick energy boost in the afternoon? This is a classic cycle of exhaustion. When your body is naturally depleted of energy, we often turn to external sources like caffeine and sugar to prop ourselves up. While these might give you a temporary lift, they are actually making the problem worse in the long run. They create a roller coaster of energy spikes and crashes, which further disrupts your body's natural rhythm and depletes your adrenal glands. You get a quick burst of energy, followed by an even deeper slump, leading you to reach for another stimulant. It's a debt cycle for your body's energy. You're borrowing energy from the future, and eventually, the bill comes due in the form of burnout and deeper exhaustion. If you can't imagine getting through your day without these artificial props, it's a powerful indication that your body is crying out for real, natural, restorative rest, not a quick fix from a coffee cup or a candy bar. So, we've covered the 5 key signs: persistent brain fog, emotional irritability, increased aches and pains, a weakened immune system, and a reliance on stimulants. Recognizing these signs is the first, most important step. Now, what can you do about it? The answer is to intentionally incorporate different types of rest into your life. First, there's physical rest, which can be passive, like sleeping and napping, or active, like gentle yoga or a slow, mindful walk. Prioritize a consistent sleep schedule. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, maybe a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Secondly, embrace mental rest. This means giving your brain a break. Try short, quiet periods throughout the day where you just sit without distractions. Even 5 minutes of closing your eyes and breathing deeply can make a huge difference. Disconnecting from screens an hour before bed is also a powerful way to let your mind wind down. And finally, consider emotional rest. This means creating space to express your feelings freely and not bottling things up. Talking to a trusted friend, a family member, or a therapist can be incredibly restorative. Remember, rest isn't a luxury. It's a fundamental pillar of health, just like nutrition and exercise. It's about honoring your body's needs and giving it the care it deserves. By listening to these warning signs and taking action, you can improve your energy, sharpen your mind, and protect your long-term health. When you're constantly exhausted, it means you're in energy debt. Your body is pulling from its emergency reserves just to get through the day. This is why that feeling of fatigue clings to you like a wet blanket, no matter how much you sleep. The sleep itself might be poor quality, disrupted by stress hormones like cortisol that keep your system on high alert. So, you might be in bed for 8 hours, but your body and brain aren't getting the deep, restorative rest they desperately need. This isn't something to power through with another cup of coffee. It's a call to action to find the root cause. Now, let's talk about how this exhaustion messes with your stomach. Have you ever noticed that when you're completely drained, the last thing you want to do is eat? Or maybe you feel bloated and uncomfortable after even a small meal. That's no coincidence. When your body is overwhelmed and in survival mode, it starts shutting down non-essential systems to conserve energy. And believe it or not, digestion is one of the first things to get downgraded. Your body figures, hey, we've got bigger problems to deal with right now than breaking down this sandwich. So, it diverts resources away from your digestive tract. This can lead to a whole host of issues. You might lose your appetite, experience indigestion, bloating, or just a general feeling of yuckiness in your gut. It's your body's way of saying, I can't handle anything else right now. Please, just let me rest. The connection between your gut and your brain is incredibly powerful. It's often called the gut-brain axis. Your gut is sometimes even referred to as your second brain because it is lined with millions of nerve cells. When you're stressed or exhausted, your brain sends alarm signals straight down to your gut. This can slow down digestion, increase inflammation, and throw the delicate balance of your gut bacteria completely out of whack. So, if you find yourself skipping meals because you just don't feel hungry, or you're constantly battling with bloating and discomfort, listen to what your stomach is telling you. It's not just a digestive issue. It's a reflection of your overall state of well-being. Your gut is giving you valuable feedback about your energy levels and stress. Ignoring these signals, it's like ignoring the low fuel light in your car. Sooner or later, you're going to grind to a halt. Let's move on to another subtle but significant red flag. Social withdrawal. Do you find yourself canceling plans with friends, dreading family gatherings, or just wanting to be left alone all the time? When you're physically and mentally drained, interacting with other people can feel like an Olympic sport. Simple conversations can feel exhausting, and the idea of putting on a happy face feels impossible. This isn't you being antisocial or a bad friend. It's a self-preservation mechanism. Your brain is trying to conserve every last bit of energy it has, and socializing requires a lot of mental and emotional bandwidth. You have to listen, process information, formulate responses, and read social cues. When your tank is empty, you simply don't have the resources for that. This kind of social retreat is a classic sign of burnout and deep fatigue. You start to feel like you're in a bubble, and the outside world feels loud and overwhelming. You might start making excuses to avoid social events. Or you might go but feel completely disconnected, like you're watching a movie of your own life instead of participating in it. It's important to recognize this for what it is, a symptom, not a character flaw. Your body and mind are asking for solitude so they can have a chance to recharge without any external demands. While a little alone time is healthy, a complete withdrawal from your support system can make things worse in the long run. It's a tricky balance. This retreat is a signal that you need to address the underlying exhaustion before it completely isolates you from the people who care about you. Another red flag that often goes unnoticed is a short fuse. Are you snapping at your loved ones over little things? Do you feel a constant sense of irritation simmering just below the surface? When you're chronically tired, your emotional resilience plummets. Your brain's prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for impulse control and emotional regulation, doesn't function properly when it's sleep-deprived and stressed. Think of it like a tired toddler. Everything is a bigger deal, and meltdowns are far more likely. That little annoyance, like someone leaving a dish in the sink, can suddenly feel like a personal attack. You're not an angry person. You're an exhausted person. This heightened irritability is your nervous system being in a constant state of fight or flight. You're jumpy, on edge, and your patience is worn. Tissue. The stress hormones flooding your system make you perceive threats where there are none. This can be really damaging to your relationships. Your family, friends, and coworkers might not understand why you're so touchy, and it can create a cycle of conflict and misunderstanding, which only adds more stress to your plate. If you find yourself constantly feeling irritable and quick to anger, take a moment to ask yourself, am I angry, or am I just exhausted? More often than not, the answer is exhaustion. This isn't an excuse for bad behavior, but it is a critical piece of information. It tells you that you need to prioritize rest and distressing, not just for your own sake, but for the sake of those around you. Let's talk about brain fog. Do you ever walk into a room and completely forget why you're there, or struggle to find the right word in a conversation? This isn't just a senior moment. It's a major red flag called brain fog, and it's directly linked to chronic fatigue. When your body is exhausted, your brain is too. It struggles with basic cognitive functions like memory, focus, and decision. It can feel like you're trying to think through a thick haze. Simple tasks that you used to do on autopilot suddenly require immense concentration. You might find yourself rereading the same sentence over and over, or struggling to follow the plot of a TV show. This happens because the inflammation and stress hormones that come with exhaustion directly impact brain function. They can interfere with neurotransmitters, which are the chemical messengers that your brain cells use to communicate. It's like having bad cell service in your brain. The messages get dropped, delayed, or jumbled. This can be incredibly frustrating and even a little scary. You might start to worry about your mental sharpness, but doctors say that in most cases, this isn't a sign of permanent decline. It's a sign of a system that is completely overloaded. Your brain is telling you, I can't process any more information. I need a break. Clearing up this brain fog isn't about doing more brain puzzles. It's about addressing the root cause of your exhaustion. When you give your body the deep rest it needs, your mind will follow, and the fog will begin to lift. Now, for a surprising one. A weakened immune system. Are you the person who catches every single cold that goes around the office? Do you feel like you're constantly fighting off some kind of bug? That's a huge sign that your body is run down. When you're in a state of chronic fatigue, your immune system takes a major hit. Your body is so busy dealing with inflammation and stress that it doesn't have enough resources left to fight off outside invaders like viruses and bacteria. The production of infection-fighting cells, like T cells, decreases, leaving you vulnerable. You get sick more often, and it takes you longer to recover. A simple cold might knock you out for a week or more, while everyone else is over it in a few days. This is your body's defense system being compromised. Think of your immune system as an army. When the country is at peace and well-fed, meaning you're well-rested and not stressed, the army is strong and ready to defend the borders. But when there's internal conflict and a famine, chronic stress and fatigue, the army is weak and disorganized. It can't effectively fight off an invading force. So if you find that you're always getting sick, don't just blame it on germ season. Look at your overall energy levels. Your frequent illnesses are a clear signal that your body's defenses are down and that you need to prioritize rest and recovery to rebuild your strength. But when you do that, you're not giving your brain the downtime it desperately needs. Think of it like a computer with too many tabs open. Eventually, it's going to slow down and lag. Seniors who ignore this need for rest may find it increasingly difficult to focus, keep track of conversations, or recall simple information. It's crucial to understand that this isn't always a sign of something more serious like dementia. Sometimes, your brain is just sending you a very clear signal. It needs a break to recharge. What happens when you continuously ignore your body's pleas for rest? Well, those small, nagging issues can snowball into much bigger problems. It's like ignoring a small leak in your roof. At first, it's just a drip, but eventually it can cause major damage. Chronic fatigue doesn't just make you feel tired. It puts real strain on your physical health. It can lead to an overworked heart, a weakened immune system that makes you more susceptible to getting sick, and complete emotional burnout. This is especially critical for seniors because, as we age, our body's recovery systems naturally slow down. We just don't bounce back as quickly as we used to. So, let's reframe how we think about rest. Listening to your body isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of profound wisdom. It's about being in tune with your needs and giving yourself the care you deserve. The solution is simpler than you might think, and it starts with prioritizing quiet time. This isn't about sitting in a silent room doing nothing, unless you enjoy that. It's about finding activities that allow your mind to wander without a specific goal. This could be listening to calming music, spending time in nature, doodling in a notebook, or even just gazing out the window. The key is to disengage from the constant stream of information and demands. By building these moments of mental rest into your daily routine, you give your brain the space it needs to sort, process, and rejuvenate. You'll likely find that after these short breaks, your focus is sharper, your mood is better, and that brain fog starts to lift. The next hygiene mistake is one that millions of people make every single morning, thinking they're doing something healthy. It happens right in your bathroom, and it involves a very common tool. What is it? We're talking about how you store your toothbrush. Most of us keep it in a cup on the bathroom counter, right next to the sink and toilet. Here's the problem. Every time you flush the toilet, A plume of microscopic particles gets aerosolized into the air. This is often called the toilet plume, and it can travel several feet, settling on all the surfaces in your bathroom, including your toothbrush bristles. Think about a tour essentially putting those particles right back into your mouth twice a day. This can introduce unwanted bacteria into your system, potentially leading to oral health issues, or even making you feel unwell. So, what's the fix? It's simple. First, always close the toilet lid before you flush. This one small action drastically reduces the spread of that aerosol plume. Second, consider where you store your toothbrush. Instead of leaving it exposed on the counter, keep it in a medicine cabinet or use a toothbrush cover. Just make sure the cover has ventilation holes to allow the bristles to dry completely, as a damp environment can also breed bacteria. It has a small change in your routine that can make a big difference to your overall hygiene and health. Now, let's move from the bathroom to the kitchen. This next mistake is incredibly common, and it has to do with something we use every day to clean our dishes. The kitchen sponge. Your sponge might look clean, but it's one of the germiest items in your entire home. Sponges are porous and constantly damp, creating the perfect breeding ground for all sorts of nasty microbes. You use it to wipe up spills, clean plates with leftover food, and then you leave it sitting by the sink. Within hours, it can become a bustling metropolis of bacteria. Wiping your counters with a dirty sponge doesn't clean them. It just spreads germs from one surface to another. This cross-contamination can increase your risk of foodborne illnesses. So, how do you practice good sponge hygiene? First, you need to clean your sponge regularly. You can do this by running it through the dishwasher on a hot cycle or by microwaving a damp sponge for 1 to 2 minutes. This will kill the vast majority of the germs. Second, and this is crucial, you need to replace your sponge frequently. A good rule of thumb is to toss it every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how heavily you use it. If it starts to smell, don't even wait through it out immediately. That smell is a telltale sign that it's teeming with bacteria. Switching to a fresh sponge is a simple, effective way to keep your kitchen cleaner and your family healthier. Okay, let's tackle another common habit that feels harmless but can have hidden consequences. It's all about your pillow. When was the last time you washed your actual pillow, not just the pillowcase? If you can't remember, you're not alone. We sleep on our pillows for about 8 hours every night. During that time, they absorb sweat, body oils, dead skin cells, and saliva. This creates a very inviting environment for dust mites, which are microscopic creatures that feed on dead skin and can trigger allergies and asthma in sensitive individuals. Your pillow can become a heavy, compacted collection of allergens and microbes over time. Washing your pillowcases weekly is a great start, but it's not enough. To truly maintain good hygiene, you should aim to wash your pillows themselves every 3 to 6 months. Most pillows, whether they're down, fiberfill, or foam, can be washed in your machine. Just be sure to check the care label first. Use a gentle cycle with hot water to kill dust mites, and make sure they are completely dry before putting them back on your bed, as any lingering moisture can lead to mold. A clean pillow not only supports better respiratory health, but also contributes to clearer skin and a more refreshing night's sleep. Think of it as spring cleaning for your head. The fifth mistake on our list is something many of us do without a second thought. Wearing shoes inside the house. You walk around all day on sidewalks, public restrooms, grassy parks, and grocery store floors. The soles of your shoes pick up everything from dirt and grime to E. coli and other unpleasant bacteria. When you walk into your home without taking them off, you're tracking all of that right onto your floors and carpets. If you have young children who play on the floor, or if you ever drop food and pick it up, you're creating a direct path for those germs to enter your home environment and your body. The solution is wonderfully simple. Adopt a no-shoes policy in your house. Keep a shoe rack by the door and have a comfortable pair of indoor slippers or socks waiting for you. This creates a clear boundary between the outside world and your clean, personal sanctuary. It not only keeps your floors significantly cleaner, reducing the amount of dirt and allergens you have to deal with, but it also minimizes your family's exposure to potentially harmful germs. It's a small cultural shift in your household that has a big hygienic payoff. Your carpets will thank you, and your health will too. Next up, let's talk about hydration. But with a twist. We all know drinking water is essential, but how you drink it matters. Specifically, we're looking at the habit of reusing the same water bottle over and over without washing it. Whether it's a plastic disposable bottle or a fancy reusable one, your mouth introduces bacteria to the bottle every time you take a sip. When that bottle sits at room temperature, even for a few hours, those bacteria can multiply rapidly. Studies have found that unwashed, reusable water bottles can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. Drinking from a contaminated bottle can lead to an upset stomach or other minor illnesses. To avoid this, you need to treat your reusable water bottle like any other dish. Wash it thoroughly with hot, soapy water at the end of each day. Use a bottle brush to scrub the inside, and don't forget the cap and mouthpiece, as that's where germs love to hide. For a deeper clean, you can use a solution of vinegar and water, or run it through the dishwasher if it has dish. By keeping your water bottle clean, you ensure that the water you're drinking is truly refreshing and healthy, not a bacterial cocktail. Finally, the seventh hygiene mistake is a modern one that affects nearly all of us. Neglecting to clean your phone. Your smartphone goes everywhere with you, to the dinner table, into the bathroom, to the gym. You touch it constantly throughout the day, after touching door handles, shaking hands, and handling money. As a result, your phone screen becomes a major hotspot for germs. Research has consistently shown that cell phones are one of the dirtiest objects we own, often carrying 10 times more bacteria than most toilet seats. We then press this germ-covered surface against our face when we take a call, which can contribute to skin problems like acne. Or we touch the screen and then touch our face or food. To fix this, get into the habit of cleaning your phone daily. You can use a microfiber cloth lightly dampened with a solution of 60% water and 40% isopropyl alcohol, or simply use electronic-safe disinfectant wipes. Power down your phone first, and avoid getting moisture into any openings. Wiping down your phone for just a few seconds each day can significantly reduce your exposure to germs, and is a crucial step in modern personal hygiene. The second warning sign is increased irritability and mood swings. Do you find yourself getting easily annoyed by little things that never used to bother you? Maybe you re-snapping at loved ones, or feeling a general sense of grumpiness you just cooey and shake. This isn't necessarily you becoming a When your body is deprived of rest, your brain's ability to manage emotions is one of the first things to suffer. The prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate our emotional responses, becomes less effective. This means our more primitive emotional brain, the amygdala, takes over, leading to heightened reactions. So, if you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, it might not be the world that's so irritating. It might be your exhausted body sending out an SOS. Rest helps restore your emotional equilibrium, allowing you to approach life with more patience, grace, and joy. Now for our third sign, brain fog and difficulty concentrating. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or found yourself rereading the same paragraph over and over because the words just aren't sinking in? This is what we call brain fog. It's that feeling of mental cloudiness where your thoughts are slow and fuzzy, and focusing feels impossible. When your body is crying out for rest, your brain is too. Lack of rest impairs cognitive functions like memory, attention, and decision. Your brain needs downtime to clear out metabolic waste products that build up during the day, and to consolidate memories. Without adequate rest, this cleanup process is disrupted, leaving you feeling mentally sluggish and unfocused. So, if you're struggling to keep your thoughts straight, it's a clear signal that your brain needs a break to reset and refresh. Let's move on to the fourth warning sign, which is one we can physically feel: unexplained aches, pains, and frequent illnesses. Are you noticing more random aches in your joints and muscles? Or perhaps you're catching every cold that goes around. This is a direct sign that your body's defense and repair systems are compromised. During rest and sleep, our bodies work hard to repair muscle tissue, reduce inflammation, and produce cytokines, proteins that are crucial for fighting infection. When you don't get enough rest, you rob your body of this critical repair time. This can lead to chronic inflammation, which manifests as aches and pains, and a weakened immune system that makes you more susceptible to getting sick. So, if your body feels like it's constantly battling something, whether it's a nagging backache or a persistent sniffle, it's a strong indication that it needs more downtime to heal and strengthen its defenses. Our fifth and final warning sign is a reliance on stimulants and trouble with sleep. Are you finding that you can get through the day without multiple cups of coffee or tea? And then, when it's finally time to sleep, are you lying in bed staring at the ceiling, unable to switch off your mind? This is a vicious cycle. We use stimulants like caffeine to power through our exhaustion during the day, which then disrupts our ability to get quality sleep at night. This isn't just about having trouble falling asleep. It could also mean waking up frequently throughout the night, or waking up in the morning still feeling exhausted. Your body is caught in a confusing loop of being artificially propped up and then unable to naturally wind down. This is a clear sign of a dysregulated nervous system. Your body is essentially stuck in on mode and has forgotten how to access its natural off switch. It's begging for a true break from this cycle to restore its natural rhythm. So, we've identified the 5 key warning signs: persistent fatigue, irritability, brain fog, physical ailments, and sleep problems. Recognizing these is the first step, but what do we do about it? The answer is simpler than you might think. It's about giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Start by honoring your body's signals. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to sleep for 12 hours straight. Rest can take many forms. Try incorporating short naps or periods of quiet relaxation into your day. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of closing your eyes in a comfortable chair can make a world of difference. It's about taking small, intentional pauses to let your system reset. Another powerful way to promote rest is to reduce overstimulation, especially before bedtime. Our modern world is full of constant noise and light from screens. An hour or two before you plan to sleep, try turning off the television, putting away your phone, and dimming the lights. Instead, you could listen to some calming music, read a physical book, or simply sit in quiet contemplation. This helps signal to your brain that it's time to wind down, making the transition to sleep much smoother and more natural. Gentle, mindful activities are your best friend when your body is begging for a break. Let's also embrace the healing power of gentle movement and nature. When you're exhausted, a high-intensity workout is the last thing you need. Instead, opt for gentle stretching to release tension from your muscles, or a slow, quiet walk outdoors. Being in nature has a profoundly calming effect on our nervous system. Pay attention to the sights and sounds around you, the rustling leaves, the birds singing. This practice of mindfulness helps pull you out of your racing thoughts and into the present moment, which is a form of mental rest. Remember, the goal isn't to push yourself. It's to move in a way that feels nurturing and restorative. Most importantly, and this is a big one for many of us, you must let go of the guilt associated with resting. We live in a culture that often praises business and productivity, which can make us feel lazy or unproductive for taking a break. But rest is not laziness. It is essential maintenance. Your body has been working hard for you for decades. It has carried you through life's ups and downs. Giving it the care and rest it deserves is a profound act of self-love and respect. Think of it as investing in your future health and happiness. Your body is your most precious asset. Treat it with the care it deserves. So, let's recap and reflect. Are you truly listening to what your body is telling you? If any of these signs, the deep fatigue, the moodiness, the brain fog, the aches and pains, or the sleep trouble sound familiar, please see it as a loving invitation from your body to pause. It's time to prioritize rest. Don't wait until you're completely burned out. Take proactive steps now to replenish your energy and restore your well-being. Your health is your legacy. It's what allows you to enjoy your family, your hobbies, and your life to the fullest. Protected with rest, care, and love. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been a helpful reminder to tune into your body's wisdom. If you found this video valuable, please share it with a friend or family member who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment sharing how you like to rest and recharge. And subscribe for more wellness tips tailored for a vibrant and healthy life. Until next time, be well and take good care of yourselves.